Hello everybody, my name is Dakota Jordan Atkins, aka DemonMud07, and today I'm going to be bringing you a video about first-time pot smokers, or for first-time pot smokers. Basically, these few tips are just going to kind of try to help you out. Now, my range for pot smoking is from 13 to about 16 is when it's okay to start. Now, the reason why, now I know a lot of y'all are going to probably hate on me for encouraging 13 to 14 to 15-year-olds to smoke pot, but see, I look at it this way. I'd rather my kids being, at a young age like that, I'd rather them smoking pot than heroin, crack, meth, or developing a drinking problem. I'd rather them smoking pot than any of that. So, for those of you who are younger, like basically 13 to 16, for those of you who are wondering about it, or even curious, and maybe want to try it, have a few friends at your school or whatever that dabble in it, or even smoke it, and you're curious, basically I'm going to give you a few tips that you need to know, just to kind of make sure you stay safe, and to make sure you don't overdo it, and just to have an enjoyable time while doing it. Okay, tip number one is, basically if you are going to try it for the first time and you're young, and you're going to do it with a friend, please make sure that it is a friend that is actually trustworthy. Don't do it with just some random person at your school. Make sure it is a friend that you've known for a good amount of time and you can trust them. Okay, because I have heard stories of people smoking with strangers that they just met, and the weed was laced with crack or cocaine, and we don't want that, okay guys? So make sure it's with somebody you know, and before, like, let's say if, they're going to roll a blunt and you guys are going to smoke it, ask them. Say, is this just marijuana? Tell them, like, be 100% truthful with me. Is this just marijuana? If they say no, don't smoke it. No matter how bad the urge to smoke is, don't smoke it. You don't want to get addicted to anything else. Trust me, those other drugs are not worth it. Marijuana is where it's at. Second of all, if you are going to do it, and you want to, and basically you do it and then you kind of like it a little bit and you want to keep on, smoking, and you want to break it to your parents. Of course, any parent out there is not going to like their kid smoking pot. So, I don't really have any tips on how to break it to your parents because, well, my mom found out. I didn't tell her. She just found out. But anyway, it didn't really even matter in the first place because when I first started, I was like 18. I'm 23 now. But I was 18, so it didn't necessarily really matter that much because I was of age. But anyway, basically what I would say is just to set them down, tell them you smoke pot, and then if they throw a fit about it, just look at them and say, well, at least I'm not smoking crack or heroin or meth or drinking, just tell them that and give them a few days, and that will sink in. That will actually sink in a lot, and they'll start thinking, well, maybe they are right. Maybe, maybe it's best they smoke pot instead of meth or crack cocaine. Let's see, I think I have a few more tips. Now, for those of you who are, for those of you who are wanting to try it, but you don't know what you want to do, you want to smoke a joint blunt or hit a bong, I actually would say just smoke a joint first. Blunts sometimes can be very, very potent as far as getting you really high. Trust and believe, I have smoked some blunts where I was just like, whoa, dude, seriously? So what I say is start off with a joint. Now, another thing is also know your limit. I have seen many people overdose on pot. Now, when I say overdose, I don't mean like overdose to where they're having, convulsions and their brain is losing oxygen and they're dying and stuff. No, I just mean where they've gotten sick and started throwing up everywhere. Yes, if you overdo it on pot, you will do that. I've seen it plenty of times. I actually saw somebody have seizures, small little seizures, because they smoked a lot of pot. But anyway, just know your limit. Just know your limit, Sorry, guys. If your friend has a blunt and you're going to smoke it with him, just, take a couple puffs off the blunt and then let him, have it for a little bit and just kind of see how you feel. If you're feeling good and you're feeling awake and you're feeling loose and stuff, it's okay to take a few more puffs. But just know your limit, guys. Know your limit. That's all I have to say. Know your limit. Now, me, I can take in a bunch and be just fine. I have a high tolerance for it, and when I get high, I don't lose my motor skills. I'm still very aware of my surroundings. I've actually seen some people who, when they get high, they kind of, lose their motor skills as if they were drunk or something. Me, I can handle it just fine. But like I said, know your limit, guys. Know your limit. Especially being very young, know your limit, okay? Now, another thing I'm going to talk about is dabbing. Okay, I've only done a few dabs in my life. Where I live, you can't really get the wax slash cannabis oil or let's say shatter, breakable, just all kinds of stuff. All kinds of names for it, but the main name is dabbing. Basically, with dabbing, I don't want you guys to just jump right into it. I want you guys to work your way up to it. Because dabs will hit you. They will hit you like a fucking freight train, trust me. Like I said, the few dabs that I have done, guys gotta keep in mind, I smoke a lot of pot. I smoke a lot of pot, guys. Okay, so keep in mind, I have a very high tolerance for it, but man, I tell you, I did my first dab like maybe 4 months ago. Man, oh, wow. I was fucking stoned. It was like my first time smoking again. That's how high I got. So, you know, when it comes to dabbing, guys, just take it slow. And sorry about that. I didn't mean to put my thumb in front of it. The camera. Anyway, as far as dabbing, if a friend says, hey, you know, let's dab, blah, 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 basically think about it. Don't just jump right into it. Think about it for a second. I just want to give you a heads up right now. You will be fucking high as hell. And if you're not a veteran smoker, most likely you won't be able to handle it. So just keep that in mind, guys. Know your limit and smoke with somebody you trust. Whether it's a family member or a friend, just somebody you trust, okay? I don't think there's anything else I should cover. You know, and guys, now keep in mind, smoking pot will open other doors for other drugs. But guys, stay away. Stay away from them other drugs. I can tell you from experience, those other drugs, they're nothing special. Trust me, I have tried every drug out there. They're not special. They're not at all. Just stick with pot. You know, if somebody offers you heroin or somebody offers you crystal meth, just say, nope, I'm a pothead, and that's the way it's going to stay. Trust me, those other drugs are not worth it. I have tried them. But yeah, hope you guys liked it. Just keep that in mind. Hope that helped out. Bye. And please subscribe and like.